After spending 7 years Fieldhouse, and this Fever offense has been swings. Clark on a step back.
They have size at every position.
Last time these two teams matched up, it was. This is Odyssey Sims.
Clark especially was blitzed a handful of times, and it's been
Jackson averaging 13 points per
break, and you can't let Kelsey Mitchell get.
She's pulling away a big lead.
Got range.
Boston backdoor pass.
LA has
work on Stevens, and here is Stevens, who will launch.
Most teams have
Indiana with the defense. Lexi Hull going coast.
About enough changes for this career.
Here's Mitchell putting on the move. Hamby goes back to work, and the scoop. Clark, step back, hit. Here is Hamby, who will fire from three.
All the hard stuff. And
to win Rookie of the Month and Player MVP. Here is Nalissa Smith, fire away. Just 11th in the WNBA.
Yeah, they're going to look like when they show up, right? Or Mitchell and Clark.
Awards, the coaching award.
It is New York, the top team in the league.
See, Mitchell was equally, if not more, Hamby just puts her head down. Smith gets inside and draws the foul.
Nice. So she watched the games, but then just.
Kelsey, thank you and for the franchise.
No question. Said 4, maybe 3. In the 6th spot in the play.
Odyssey Sims finds some space. Hesitation. Clark gets inside. Hamby fighting through traffic. Flips it up. Shot one. Here is Stevens on the roll. Oh, can't.
She's really good at.
Mitchell catch and shoot. Whistle there.
Since the break, 100. It's amazing.
Mitchell leads all scorers with 7.
Mitchell doing a really good job fronting. Rakia James on the perimeter right now.
Indiana times. Here's
physical post who can run off.
Score pass finds Kia Nurse. The Fever turnover, so it hasn't hurt them. Jackson, nice footwork. Comes Boston, flips her shoulder, and it's an off. Ray Burrell, who's just checked. Clark stepping back on the baseline.
To her game as well.
Burrell attacking the baseline, and
such a low-scoring first quarter.
Shots because of that turnover.
Relax just a tad. You're playing.
Clark will launch up. He is on the Pacers staff. On a 3. There's Lee battling underneath.
You can say that about the Indiana Fever.
Here in May, Clark, highest scoring game, had more than that in a season.
Time to spend on all the numbers.
On the bounce, Dantas charging inside baseline. There's Burrell through
players. Smith and Dantas.
Mitchell, here is Nurse stepping back, launching, and she was here. She hit 5 threes. Smith denial, but on a fast
break opportunities.
Nurse stepping back and
out of it quickly. You got to move the ball.
In the WNBA, so it's a little below.
Turnover margin, a +2 rebound, 17 points a game.
And Kelsey Mitchell as she steps into a 2. There with Ray Burrell and Kia Nurse.
Help Indiana.
Dantas over a double. Sims on the drive, draws the foul. He put together a fine evening, 10
their average. Execute in the quarter court, and now she with some mismatches.
Mitchell trying to get this Indiana offense kick-start.
He's on the season.
And
with the Imps, same place as me.
Clark, good feed into Boston. Here's Azare again. Oh, doing her B. And Boston on the other end. Oh, knocked down the 3 and 4.
And executive of the year in this league.
Oh, feeding it.
And a play offensively.
Well, worth noting that from that perspective, there's Vegas a couple of times. And they've got some impressive.
It's part of the reason why they
3 threes all afternoon.
Go to LA's practice because they work so.
Here's Burrell fighting inside and a backdoor cut. It's Mitchell.
Right at Mitchell's defender and let her. What a tremendous defense.
Just 3 total points since the minutes. We haven't seen Christy Wallace.
She's coming off the bench again. Still in the same sentence.
Jackson trying to create, driving on Samuels.
Starter on this team, #2 pick in the draft. Cameron, we're sending our best to you. Because she wanted to be, and for Rakia, it's like you're going to be an all-star.
No question, and that's what. Advantage on Wheeler and Jackson.
She's an incredible athlete. For a rookie, that's impressive.
Oh, Clark.
Hamby and try to get her going. Looks like they're going.
Sims into hole. Angel on the drive, turns the corner and gets to the. Well, we've seen that speed be such a break. Smith going one-on-one.
Passers out of that play.
Here's Stevens. Stevens will try it again.
Aaliyah Boston getting away.
She's finding some room to work down there on a regular roster deal. Stumbles, but Not a full-time gig.
Back to it here in the second.
Clark once again. Mitchell staying aggressive, flips it up. Here in the second half. The crossover, driving into Smith, leaves a shot. Clark crossing over, and faces Sims giving chase. Clark as Jackson throws up a wild. Here is Hamby on the other end, spinning and
somebody back. We were on the same side. Look at Boston.
Tactician. It's always a chess match.
A timeout or a substitution.
Sims to switch on to Boston, driving on Boston.
Hill gets you in isolation. Look to Dallas.
Clark on the drive. Clark hangs and banks stopper. Jackson turning on. Trying to establish. Going to have to hoist from way outside.
From your defense, particularly
16 points here so far tonight as Clark launching.
This match for Azare Stevens. It's a really ace to snake behind. You put a lot of pressure on.
Sit for Smith. Haven't been able to shake the sparks. Wheeler giving chase. Jackson. That's Wheeler going coast to coast. That's it right there. And we base decision for Christie Sides. Extra pass. It's Wheeler. Indiana back up 5 and so good. Break out of that here as Sims on the drive. The other end.
They like to run for Kelsey Mitchell.
Nurse weaving her way inside and is called.
Try to force some slippage.
Boston back for Clark. But the feeds it over to Burrell, who's open. The Sparks to close out the third. Minutes here today.
Action.
Dantas fading, firing.
Action's tough to guard. What a take by Burrell.
Couple misses, team piece.
Guarded by Mitchell and Clark.
And Sparks have just not gone away. Boston spinning inside.
Runs more two-man game than Clark.
Clark lobbing inside. Oh, difficult.
Because Mitchell and Clark have done in her ability to run the floor, play one.
Beaver hit with a moving screen.
First 10 seconds of the shot.
Step back. Hits a going behind the back. Oh, it's bumped tonight. And that works for the most ever.
And let me correct myself. It's
will she get it off in time? Just does.
So good at creating separation to get into the.
Mitchell pulling up. Is at hand here, trying to secure their 18th. Shot too strong. Stevens with the rebound.
Lexi Hall does not need fantastic.
On 2, Sims taking it right up the middle. Smith with the rebound. Oh, pretty spin. Christie Sides really low. Burrell catch and shoot. Whoa, wait.
Shooter open.
Mitchell, that's a deep two-of end. And they lost Hamby. And here as a pro comes in your 10th, averaging 18 points per game. That's
talked about her 3-on-3 experience. Remarkable run by them.
Mitchell hoists and had it half. Sims, difficult look at a 10th assist. Fortunately. For Hamby, right into Smith, maybe got away with move. Floats it up, gets it. Hamby, you're not battling like this.
And Dearica sees of
Smith on the drive. Smith lays it and going here in the fourth quarter. Sims on the floor right now. But Clark lets it fry.
The month for August, but guys, she was on
their direction. I think Clark and Mitchell 11 assists and 12 rebounds
to close out games, right? And they back
behind her. Here is Stevenson fire. Thought about the 3 and traveled. Backing in on Stevens. She didn't get called for that.
I mean, look, it's a really good ATO by Indiana
of the season, and that tops. And a big Burrell cut off there by Boston inside for him.
Fever. That's the kind of defense that Christie's.
Nurse drives inside. Sims picks her pockets. And Sims.
Whistle comes from the
has the ball under 2 minutes to go, trying to go Bridge Fieldhouse. Mitchell will take it herself on the.
Their tendency for the Fever is Kelsey.
Here's a Boston 3. Nurse is left open. She like it. Boston. Mitchell.
Like I said earlier.
Break. Have we called her name?
17 for 25 in schedule, 11 games in the first 12 foul here. I like the strategy. Play D.
3 drives her way inside. Muscles to
a muscle bucket right there. Wait.
Team led by a rookie.
Call timeout.
Not surprising. And it.
Kelsey Mitchell's going. What?
They're 18 and 16.
On the same side. Look at Boston.
such a master tactician. It's always a chess match.
Change the rhythm of the game. Sometimes it's a timeout or a substitution. They play the same all the time.
Sims to switch on to Boston, driving on Boston.
So they're very much a downhill, gets you in isolation. Look, she averaged 17 points on a hardship in Dallas.
By the Sparks. Clark being watched by Nurse. Clark on the drive. Clark hangs and banks.
Really can't stop her.
Jackson turning on. Trying to establish lead. Shot clock down to 5. Sims gonna have to hoist from way outside.
Is what you're hoping for right there, especially from your defense. Particularly
Mitchell, Aaliyah, Boston, each sitting on 16 points here so far tonight. Is it the switch on to Lee? Here is Clark launching.
Snakes behind it, and she creates this mismatch for Azurá Stevens. It's a really, when there's that much space to snake behind, you put a lot of pressure on.
Mitchell putting on the moves. Mitchell on the drive, drops it for Smith. Shooting over 50% from the floor. Haven't been able to shake the Sparks. Inside for Jackson, poked away by Mitchell. Wheeler giving chase. Jackson. Now it's Wheeler turning on the Jets. Wheeler going coast to coast. Wheeler in her prime. That's it right there. And Chicago. Kind of a matchup-based decision for Christie Sides. On the drive, behind the back to Boston. Extra pass. It's Wheeler giving up good looks for great looks. Indiana back up 5 and bets. So good. Out of it, but we are starting to break out of that here as Sims on the drive. And Sims misses on the other end. The night is almost what you expect from her.
Caitlin off that Iverson action. That's an action they like to run for Kelsey Mitchell.
Nurse weaving her way inside and is called.
Be there in the last couple of possessions. Try to force some slippage and confident level to finish off the season.
Boston back for Clark. Clark's hit 3 of them. With the feet. Sims whips it over to Burrell, who's open. Really nice defensive possessions there for the Sparks to close out the third. Wheeler getting some extra minutes here today.
Has been better in their court action.
Dantas fading, firing. Haven't gotten a good look.
Oh, that scissor action's tough to guard. What a take by Burrell.
Thought she was fouled. Couple misses, a team apiece.
Giroux is being guarded by Mitchell and Clark.
And Sparks have just not gone away. They've out of sync at times. Boston spinning inside.
Man game. Nobody in the league runs more two-man game than Clark.
Clark lobbing inside. Oh, difficult.
I mean, she may not have put the points up because Mitchell and Clark have diminished the value that Aaliyah Boston brings and her ability to run the floor, play one out of that high post area.
Beaver hit with a moving screen.
Has been good in the first 10 seconds of the shot because she can get a bucket on anybody.
Clark, step back, hits a. Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's bumped. Couple of signature moments here tonight. And that, which ties Breanna Stewart for the most ever of her recent games.
And let me correct myself. It's
with a shot clock down to 2. Nurse, will she get it off in time? Just does.
Stop it. It's because she's so good at creating separation to get into the race. She creates separation.
Mitchell pulling up. Beaver have far more important things at hand here, trying to secure their 18th win. Hamby rolling, runs into hole, shot too strong. Stevens with the rebound.
Lexi Hall does not need seen that since the Olympic break. She's been fantastic.
Over. Here comes Sims with a 3-on-2. Sims taking it right up the middle and connect on that 3. Smith with the rebound. Oh, pretty spin.
Indiana.
Christie Sides really need of her. Burrell catch and shoot. Whoa, wait.
This Indiana overhelps and leaves the three-point shooter open.
Mitchell, that's a deep 2. Weaver Needham stops on the defensive end, and they lost Hamby. And not often your best year as a pro comes in your 10th 30-year-old De'Erica Hamby. averaging 18 points per game. That's
Hamby talked about her 3-on-3 experience, ended up getting in the medal round. It was really a remarkable run by them.
in there for Indiana. Shot clock down to 3. Mitchell hoists and had it half. Sims, difficult look for FIBA. She would have a chance at a 10th assist. Fortunately,
When you're getting the ball to the right place.
at 22 points. Burrell bouncing here for Hamby. Right into Smith. Maybe got away with Hamby attacking Boston. Spin move. Floats it up. Gets it.
First team this season.
Maybe if you don't have a De'Erica Hamby, you're not battling like this.
And De'Erica sees a
Clark, Boston. Here is Smith on the drive. Smith lays it. Smith getting going here in the fourth quarter. Sims on the young group here. Now, a lot of veterans on the floor right now. Clark, the switch on to Talbot. Clark lets it fly. Looking for win number 5 in a row.
Clark was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Month for August. But guys, she was on.
Could have gone, Kelsey, thank you, either direction. I think Clark and Mitchell combined for 40 points, 11 assists, and 12 rebounds.
Indiana has relied on their defense to close out games, right? And they back
On a 3. Talbot tipped it behind her. Here is Stevenson fire when they needed it. Talbot back up top. Hamby thought about the 3 and traveled for a moment and said she'll back her way in. Backing in on Stevens. She was around earlier in the play. Didn't get called for that.
I mean, look. That's a really good ATO by Indiana.
Boston with their 12th double-double of the season, and that tops. And a big Burrell cut off there by Boston. Inside for him.
Action contested by the Fever. That's the kind of defense that Christie
For LA. Nurse drives inside on Shy, but that time turns it over. Sims picks her pockets, and Sims.
It's interesting that the whistle comes from the
What a major swing here as Indiana has the ball under 2 minutes to go, trying to go 50. Remaining here from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Mitchell will take it herself on the
This line out of bounds. Their tendency for the Fever is Kelsey.
Mitchell whips it back. Here's a Boston 3. Cross court, Nurse is left open. Mitchell, shot clock down to 5, doesn't like it. Boston, Mitchell.
Outstanding. Like I said earlier.
How often here out of the Olympic break have we called her name? Shot.
I mean, she's been 17 for 25 years. Really tough, challenging schedule. 11 games in the first 12. Kurt Miller electing not to foul here. I like the strategy. Play deep.
Boston, shot clock down to 3. Drives her way inside. Muscles to.
That's a muscle bucket right there. Wait.
Again, this young Indiana Fever team led by a rookie.
Indiana not electing to call timeout.
WNBA. Not surprising. And it
Running the same play. Kelsey Mitchell's going. What action by Kelsey?
They're 18 and 16.